Top 10 amazing facts about the human eye. One of the first aspects of a person's appearance that catches your attention is their eyes. They frequently convey information even before words are spoken or other nonverbal signs are recognized by the recipient. The Daily Mail reports that research conducted in Sweden led to the discovery by scientists that patterns in the iris can indicate whether we are warm and trustworthy or neurotic and impulsive. The eye is a remarkable organ in the human body, and one's sight is something that should never be taken for granted. It is essential to ensure that your eyes are protected for the reasons stated above. We've all heard that the eye is the window to the soul, but it is also a window to our health, said Dr. Oliver Yeh, a cataract and glaucoma specialist at Intermountain Healthcare's Salt Lake Clinic. We've all heard that the eye is the window to the soul. An eye exam can now assist in the diagnosis of a variety of other ailments within the body. An eye exam can detect diabetes, high blood pressure, infections, and even autoimmune illness. This is because the eye is the only site in the human body where neural tissue and blood arteries can be directly seen. According to Yeh, getting your eyes checked regularly can assist in the early detection of potentially vision-threatening conditions such as glaucoma and macular degeneration. And that's only the tip of the iceberg. The human eye is a remarkable organ. Here are 10 interesting facts about it. Number 10. The vast majority of people have a color vision of 1 million. The cone cells in the human eye are responsible for transmitting signals to the brain that allow us to detect different colors. Scientists believe that the average person can see at least 1 million different colors. If you think that's amazing, consider that people who have a rare disorder called tetrachromacy have an additional type of cone cell in their eyes, which allows them to see up to 100 million different colors. Number 9. You are blinking 10% of the time that you are awake. The fact that blinking helps to keep your eyes lubricated and protects them from dust and particles may assist to explain why we do it so frequently. It is estimated that the average individual blinks anywhere from 15 to 20 times per minute, which equates to 400 to 200 times each day. This accounts for around 10% of your time spent awake, or up to 5 million times per year. Number 8. The cornea, which heals quickly, does not have any blood vessels. A touch to the cornea triggers an involuntary reflex that causes the eyelid to close. The cornea is a transparent covering that sits over the front part of the eye. Unlike other parts of the body, the cornea has nerve endings that are not myelinated, making it sensitive to touch, temperature, and chemicals. The cornea does not have blood vessels because maintaining its transparency is of the utmost importance. Instead, it receives nutrients through diffusion, first from the tear fluid on the outside and then from the aqueous humor on the inside. It also receives neurotrophins from the nerve fibers that innervate it. Because of this, it does not possess its blood supply. Instead, it receives oxygen from the air. Scratching your eye can be rather painful due to the presence of nerve endings in the cornea. This is why you should avoid doing it. The majority of abrasions, fortunately, recover rapidly, typically within 24 to 72 hours. Number 7. All people with blue eyes descend from the same progenitor. If you were born with a pair of baby blue eyes, you are one of the 8 to 10% of people throughout the world who have blue eyes. Blue eyes are the consequence of a mutation that causes the irises to lack pigment, and they can be inherited. Researchers believe that this mutation initially appeared in a person who lived in Europe between 6,000 and 10,000 years ago. If this theory is correct, then all blue-eyed people alive now descended from the same ancestor. Number 6. Your feelings affect what you observe. People who are battling depression would experience the world as more than just a metaphor when they remark it appears drab, flat, or gloomy. It has been shown through research that people who suffer from serious depression see discernible changes in the way their eyes detect contrast. This lends credence to the theory that one's mental health might affect the way one views their surroundings. Number 5. The process of night vision develops gradually. If you enter a room that is very dimly lit and feel as though your eyes require some time to adjust, this is because they do. Turning on night vision, also known as dark adaptation, can take anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes of continuous exposure to darkness. Even when our eyes have acclimated to the darkness, the majority of our surroundings seem black and white. This is because the rod cells in our retinas, which are what allow us to see in low light environments, are not responsible for color vision. Number 4. Let your eyes deceive you? Blame the brain. Vision is comprised of more than just the ability to see with one's own eyes. Although the visual information we take in is registered by our eyes, it is then processed by more than 30 regions of the brain. Optical illusions, for instance, deceive the brain into falsely interpreting what the eyes see or into producing a new image that does not exist at all. This can be accomplished in one of two ways. Researchers at the University of Rochester discovered that more than half of the surface area of our brains, which is referred to as the cortex, is devoted to the processing of visual stimuli. Because of this, when we consult for some of the most successful and well-known businesses in the world, we encourage what we refer to as whole brain thinking, which of course implies employing a visual approach to problem solving. Number 3. You have a one of a kind eye coloration. Irises, also known as the colored part of the eye, each have their distinct coloration and patterning. Much like fingerprints, so unique that iris scans are more successful than fingerprint recognition technology. Irises do not always look the same, even identical twins who have the same DNA. So, the color of an individual's eyes is set at birth and does not change throughout their lifetime. However, in a very tiny percentage of individuals, eye color can naturally change in a way that is either discernibly darker or notably lighter as they become older. Number 2. Vision of 20/20 is not a perfect vision. We sometimes refer to the vision of 20/20 as perfect, although this measurement merely indicates that a person can see an eye chart as expected from a distance of 20 feet, which indicates that it is still possible to see even more clearly. For example, one study of professional baseball players found that more than 3/4 of players had 20/15 vision or better. This means that these players could see well from a distance of 20 feet what the typical person sees from a distance of 15 feet. Number 1. Colorblindness is more common in men than in women. About 1 in 10 males have some sort of color blindness, also known as a color deficit. This condition typically manifests itself as an inability to differentiate between different shades of red and green. A person can't differentiate between blues and yellows, although it's not very common. It is the X chromosome that is responsible for the inheritance of the genes that cause red-green color blindness. Because it is carried on the X chromosome, the condition that causes red-green color blindness is more prevalent in males. This is because males inherit from their mothers a single copy of the X chromosome. How was the video? Do you feel it is amazing? Please give your feedback in our comments section below and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos.